Welcome to the Bar Model Reasoning Part 3. This is where it gets to be fun because you're working from word challenges. You will need to draw a representation of the word problem and then find the solution by working from your drawing. Remember, we have 2 hints to help you get started. Find out who or what's involved and put that into your drawing, and then decide who has the smallest amount and give them the box. Now remember, these hints don't work all the time, but when you're a little bit stuck, it does help you get started. So, off you go. Okay, you should have a piece of paper folded into 4 equal parts. So we are working on side 1, and this is question 1. Read the question, draw each part of it, and then find the solution. Stop the tape while you're doing your work, and then when you have finished your work, restart the tape and check your solution. Okay, when I look at this problem, I ask myself the question, who or what's involved? Well, I see that Jonah is involved and Zachary. We're keeping track of their scores. Then I ask the question, who has the smallest amount? Jonah's score is 2 times as many as Zachary. So Zachary has the smallest amount, so we're going to give Zachary the box. There you go. Now let's go section by section and draw it. Jonah and Zachary are playing some dog. I have that. Jonah's score is 2 times as many as Zachary's. So Jonah has 1 times and then 2 times as many. Together, the boys' total score is 30. So altogether, if I put together both their scores, I would have 30. What is the score for each boy? So there's my question points. All right, when I look at my drawing, I see that I have a total of 30, and it's split into 1, 2, 3 equal parts. So if I split 30 into 3 equal parts, to find out what is in one part, that would be division. 30 divided by 3, of course, is 10, which means that Zachary has 10. There's 10 in this box and 10 in this box. So Jonah has a total of 20. Okay, on to question number 2. Read the word challenge, draw it out, and then work from your drawing to find an answer. Stop the tape while you are working, and then restart the tape when you're ready to see a solution to this problem. Okay, when I look at this problem, I see that I'm keeping track of Dalton's games and Jacob's games. Then I ask myself the question, who has the smallest amount? Well, Dalton has 25 more games than Jacob. So Jacob has the smallest amount, so we're going to give him the box. Sorry about that, Jacob. Now, I can go back to my word challenge and draw in each section. Dalton has 25 more video games than Jacob. So Dalton has the same amount that Jacob has, except that he has 25 more. There we go. Together, they have 61 games. So altogether, if I put together what both boys have, I would have 61 games. Now I want to find out how many games does Jacob have and how many games does Dalton have. So, I know that these are 2 equal boxes. So if I get rid of this 25, I could use division to find out what is in each box. So I'm going to take that 61 I have in all, and I'm going to take away that 25. So in both of these boxes, all together, I have 36. I want to know what is in each box. So I'm going to take my 36 and I'm going to split it into 2 equal parts, division. So 36 divided by 2 is 18. So there's 18 in each one of those boxes. So Jacob has 18. Now Dalton, I've got to go over and add the 18 plus the 25 more that he had. And that would be 43. So Dalton has 43 games. Okay, good job. Okay, here is challenge number 3. Read the problem, draw the sections, and then solve the problem from your drawing. I would caution you as you read this to notice that it says there are 102 people in the front row and 7 times as many in the next 10 rows. It doesn't say in each of the next 10 rows, but in the next 10 rows altogether. All right, off you go. Stop the tape while you do your work and then restart the tape when you're ready for a solution. Okay, as I solve this problem, I notice that I'm keeping track of the number of people who are in the front row and the people who are in the next 10 rows. Okay, when I look at who has the smallest amount, I notice that there are 102 people in the front row, but there are 7 times as many in the next 10 rows. So the front row has the smallest amount. So I'm going to give the front row the box. Now I go back and draw each section of my sentence. There are 102 people in the front row, so I actually know how many there are in this part. There are 102 in this part, and 7 times as many in the next 10 rows. So there's 7 of these, 7 times as many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, my drawing's a little off tonight, but sort of. Now the question is, how many people are there all together? Now, as I look at this sentence, I notice I've got one group of 102, but then I have 7 times as many, so I have 7 of those boxes. So to find out how many are in the next 10, I could go 7 times 102. 7 times 2, of course, is 14. So there's 714 in the next 10 rows. But my question is how many there are in all. So I've got to put that together, 714 plus the 102 that are in the first row. And that would be 816 all together. Now that's one way you could solve that problem. The other way is to just realize that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups of 102. So you could have just simply gone 8 times 102, 8 groups of 102. And, of course, the answer is 816. So you could have solved it in the 2-step method here, or you could have solved it in one step by recognizing you have 8 equal parts. Good job. Okay, this is the last problem in this section. Read the situation. Take each part and draw each part. Then find your solution from your drawing. Please stop the tape while you work and then restart the tape to find out a solution. Okay, so I begin with the question, who or what's involved? And I notice that I'm keeping track of what Matthew has. And Matthew, I'm just going to call you Matt tonight, please. And what Jacob has. And then I need to figure out who has the smallest amount. Matthew saved 5 times as much as Jacob. So Jacob has the smallest amount. All right, now I can draw each section of my word challenge. Matthew saved 5 times as much as Jacob. So I'm going to give Matthew 5 times as much as Jacob. That's 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Okay? If Jacob saved $109, So this actually has $109. How much did they save in all? So I want to know is how much both boys saved. All right. Well, when I look at what Matthew has, I realize he's got 5 times as many. So inside of each one of these boxes is the $109. So actually, I could go, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 109. And that's multiplication. 6 groups of 109. 6 times 9 is 54, and 6 times 1 is 6. So the two boys altogether saved $654. Good job, guys. Good saving money. Of course, that's just one way you could solve it. You could find out what Matthew has by doing 5 times 109 and then add the 109 to it. It would be your choice, but you should get an answer of $654.